is live. Okay. Twitch live, or going live.
Of course, it's gotta be Twitch. Come on, Twitch. Twitch. What you doing, Twitch?
Twitch plays. That sounds pretty silly. No, it really sounds silly. Give me a second while I get this set up, and I will be ready to roll. Hey, Shovel. I need to get this going, too. There we go.
Some non-Neptune related music for once. Not that it's bad, I guess.
Alrighty. Homura did nothing wrong. Of course she did nothing wrong. And Vit Link on this side. Hey! Meduca. Oh god. That's a meme I haven't seen in a while. Oh dear lord, my wallet cries. Why does your wallet cry? Alright, so... one thing I want to mention with this model, since I am doing Madoka Magica here. Let me delete a lot of these old things. I'm just gonna call it Homura. Soul Gem. It's not actually just the Soul Gem, but it's close enough. Oh, a purple heart figure. That makes sense. That would definitely make sense. It is that's a pretty nice looking figure. So, all right, but what was I saying? Oh yeah. So this Soul Gem, there's not a lot of good references for it. There is, of course, the anime and various other things. But one thing that I did notice looking at this earlier today. Hey, Andrew Manson. There's no real easy primitive that I can use. I mean, sure, I could probably use a cylinder, but I want that mouse pad.
Of course.
Everyone wants that mouse pad. Toho detected. Oh, it's totally Toho. So first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is get rid of these two, so I can hide them for a second. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna need to do is make my own primitive. So I think what I'm gonna try is a classic cylinder. So one thing I do know, looking at this thing, seems to be that there is this... the bottom part looks very solid, the interior part is empty, so what I'm going to have to do is make something a bit more different here. So, actually I might just be able to use a cylinder. Now that I'm actually thinking this out, I think a cylinder is not going to be that difficult to work with. I might be terribly wrong. Watch. I could be terribly wrong. Let's see. So I'm going to start it out about right here. And I'm going to just dip this. And before I get too involved here, I'm going to go ahead and scale by X to a 2. Scale by... whoa. Scale by 2. Just going to make this a little bit wider. I probably don't need this face here, but I'm still going to keep it around just in case. Or anyway, I should probably say. So what I see, it looks like two lines here. One's about, I will say, right here. So yes, I know that's going to be cutting through for a second. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Looks about right. Soul Gem, man, if I had a soul, got rid of that thing. Well, who needs a soul? Who needs a soul? Nobody needs one. Right? Scale this in to match. A little more. How about there? Looking everywhere, no see me Uzume. Yeah. There isn't a Uzume, unfortunately. I do this occasionally. Actually, it's about... It's supposed to be roughly about 50% of my channel, but it's not exactly. I want to say it's probably more closer to 40% of my channel. It's where I basically just do modeling. So I'm going to do very quickly is see what this looks like. What I use is multi-resolution. I do that just so I can kind of get an idea of how a shape is supposed to look. So that way this allows me to go and tweak the model as I need to. I'm going to say it needs to be like right here. Actually, it looks like it's a little smaller than the top, so it needs to go about like this. Looks about right. Is it a bit more? Hey, Lors! So that's not exactly what I want it to look like, don't worry. But I gotta put some control loops in. Which is roughly what I'm like. Now the inside here, I don't really care for too much. I might actually delete it, but I'm not sure yet. What I do think I need to do though, is I might have to put some control, some control on these points right here. Let's see how that looks. Looks pretty decent, but I'm gonna go ahead and undo that real quick. Oops, that undid too much. Mesh, redo. Oh, I got rid of it all entirely. Okay, that's fine. I can fix that real quick. Hopefully this doesn't get any copyright restrictions. I don't think it will, but it's still worth being a little cautious. Gotta be a little bit careful here. Actually, no. What I need to do... need to grab these edge loops here and just kind of make this a little taller. Been a while since you last built something. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing Fantasy Zone. I'm gonna work on that on my own from here on out, though. So it'll be a little different from here. This should be flatter. No bland jokes, please. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is grab these faces, extrude them about here. So things are going to get a bit more interesting from here. So we've got a little bit of that goblet look that we were looking for. Do we need to quickly go and grab right here? Looks pretty decent there. I want this to be a bit tighter on this bit, so it actually looks like it's a surface. Looks about right. YouTube chat green. So much green. Yeah, no kidding. I can't exactly control users that much on that end, so... not sure. It's definitely different. Alright. This is where things are going to get interesting here. Twitch chat is Christmas colors. Oh, Kai, why? Why must you do this, man? Actually, now that I think about it, I'm thinking about something here for a second. I'm not 100% certain what I might do yet. I could probably do this as one giant model for the most part, and then, well, okay, it's gonna be mostly one model, one piece, save for one area which might be another piece, but Alright, Zed, please. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this, because like I said, this is not a primitive. It has some primitive pieces that I can see as components, but the whole thing itself is a bit more unique. So this is where I gotta do a little bit of the thinking process on how I want to go about making this. I think from here I can definitely go from here. Of course, keeping this thing symmetrical is gonna be a pain. I think I can do that though. That's not flat though. I just realized that. It's not a flat thing. It's kind of... Or no, it is flattened, but it's not affecting the... Huh. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? I don't believe so. Unless you're pondering how to go about building this exactly, then, yes, then we're pondering the same thing. For some reason I thought you were making the Holy Grail. No, I'm not making the Holy Grail. As interesting as that could be. So, really my biggest concern is trying to see how how to actually create this. Huh. I think, alright, I'm gonna see how this looks then. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see how this looks taking the 6 of every center here. That's 5. So a lot of this is gonna be a lot of tinkering. How about giving Hawk a bit of a brain teaser? I mean, I don't mind it. Did I miss what is it here? Really, my biggest concern is trying to figure out how to go about building this correctly and make it look the way I want it to look. Okay, no, I know what I need to do here. So what I'm going to do again is grab this, just turn it about right here, limit these guys. I think I did that right. Yep. Then I'll go ahead and re-extrude here, but I won't do anything from here. So what I need to do real quick, go into this mode, I'm going to grab this one. I could just do this with symmetry, but the problem is when you work with a cylinder, symmetry is kind of hard to do. Sure, you can get away with it, but it's a bit more difficult. So what happens if I did this? Yeah, that doesn't want to be exactly like that. Try more around that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. Okay. So if I were to make this real quick, I think I might want to be... Let me quickly run through this and see if I can get this to work. I'm going to shrink this down. No, that's not how that's supposed to work. Okay, hang on. So it's a decent ways up, about here. And it's curved. This is an interesting model. It's not, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I'd say it's interesting. Are we making the crown? No, we're making the gem. Can I rotate this? See, if I rotate this about the X, it causes problems. This is the one thing about the... Oh my gosh, look at that. So this is interesting. I'm gonna have to go about doing that myself, huh? Try this then. No, I extruded. Whoops. When you fat finger everything. Was it scale Z? That went flat. That's gonna be a difficult thing to do, actually. Yeah, this is gonna be hard to do without symmetry. Because getting this particular bit done correctly without any interruption is gonna be the difficult part. I could just mimic this, grab this, and then yoink it. See, what I'm gonna do, I'll show you guys roughly what I was aiming for here. That was not to... simply just to do something like this. Not that much. Less. And if I did that, it creates that kind of roughened edge right here that I can work with. Of course, this needs to be a bit wider, so I need to adjust that a little here. That's about what I'm looking for right there. The interesting part's going to be kind of looping it back, which I think all I'd need to do, grab these guys. I'm just kind of running this through my head right now, just so I can kind of see how I should build this. I need to rotate this still. That shouldn't cause too much of an issue. The question though is how the heck did they manage to do that? Hey Sass. Wait, did I say this as? I'm not even paying attention to the chat right now. I don't even know if I just said hi to Zaz twice, which I don't think he he probably doesn't mind, but still. Not paying attention to the chat. Good old me. But you guys can kind of see what I'm aiming for here with this bit. I'm just quickly trying to see what this would look like. That's really all I'm doing at this point. This is where the symmetry is going to need to come into play. Because otherwise I will not be able to line up these four perfectly like the way they need to be. Which will cause a bit of problems. This... yeah, that'll fix that. That'll get us what we need, that kind of weird curve right here. Only issue I have is this needs to be flattened. Actually, that's a pretty easy thing to do. Scale Z, I think. It's not fully flattened. But you guys can kind of see that this is going to be a bit more difficult to do since I really need to rely on symmetry here to do a lot of the major work. But you guys can see I can get that. This is going to be the harder part to mirror across multiple spectrums here. I'm thinking... These are the kind of things I need to draw out more. How am I going to do that bit there? I guess I could do it as multiple pieces. The bottom pedestal bit is one piece, and then the other piece is the upper, upper, I guess. What would you even call this area? This area. Where this curve comes into play. I don't really even know what I would call this. I guess it kind of does look like a crown, though. I will. Now that I really think about it, it does look like a crown. Even though it's supposed to be a gym. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here then? No, Z. All the way. Oh, too much. Delete all these vertices. Get out of this form. This point, that point, F. This one, F. That should bring us back to this point. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is kind of get the base. Which should be probably about there. Okay. And this needs to maintain that same shape that it has here. Whoa, too many subdivisions there. The inside I don't think I need to worry about too much. It's still I want to control. So I can get that overall shape to look that way. Yeah, I can't play Madoka Magica music, I don't think, without having to worry about copyright. I can get away with the fan-made Toho music a bit more, since it's not really covered. A lot of it's fantastic music, and it's kind of hard to cite all of it, because I don't have a good way of citing it all. But if I need to, I can give the links I need. I think the guy who I'm using these tracks off to, I think, is Alex Margatroyd. The person who's named their YouTube account off of one of the characters in Toho. Okay, so... Alright. So I'm going to do this. Shift D in the Y direction. I'm going to duplicate this. Ah, I should have duplicated it before I did that. Otherwise I'm going to add some unnecessary... Okay. I know what I need to do then. Went too far. Whoops. There. Okay, cool. Alright. Shift D in the Y direction. So this is going to be the base of it. The reason why I'm doing a duplicate is so I can still maintain the correct things that I need. So what I'm going to do real quick is... Oops, no. This mode.
Grab all these, extrude that out. Don't really matter where I extrude this too much, I don't think. Delete these faces. Delete these faces, this, Control L. Delete that. Not there exactly.
Alright. That is what I'll have to do to get that to work. The interesting thing is right here. I have to use the B command so you guys can see where my cursor is, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it. These areas right here, representing kind of where the... I really don't know what to describe that as. The curves, I guess, to kind of show the top part of the crown, I guess. Those start out flat, which means that the size is consistent throughout the entire bit there, which is interesting. Because on something that's cylindrical, it's going to be round, whereas this is going to be flat. How in the heck am I going to get that to work? This is still a little too large. Oh, whoops, I see what I did there. Shift cursor. Whoops, okay, no, don't do that. This. Looks good. Okay. This whole thing's gonna be a bit difficult. So it's gonna look like that, I know. It's also got the modifier on it, so that's even better. It's time to spend some time with some tiny miniatures. 1 to 100 scale, World War II, and a paintbrush. Ah, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna hide the base cylinder for a second here. You got bumped a little bit. So now this is where I'm going to go ahead and apply symmetry. So what I need to do, zoom out right here. Grab all these and get rid of it. That should leave a quadrant of it. Then mirror, X, and then the Y. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to work with, looks like a quarter of it. Oh, this is the crown? I thought it was a soul gem. Do people call it the crown? Actually, you know what I can do? Since I know that there's 2 spots on each side here. Yeah. So I could just work on this in the middle right here, because this is 6. And that'll allow me to keep that. Okay, good. Okay. Cool. This'll work. So this saves me a lot of time. Yeah, I've never heard of it called as the crown. This is more like the swole gem. Bucket, please. Alright, so what I need to do... So I can't rotate this right now, because it's in mirror mode. I don't want to do that at the moment. Are you overlapping? A little bit, that's fine. I can tweak that later. I wonder why it's like that, though. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and save here real quick, just so I can have a checkpoint to work with. Since I'm not exactly sure how to go about doing this bit. The biggest difficulty, like I said, is going to be to get that to accurately reflect the way I want it to. Because it's not exactly rounded. Or is it? Maybe I've just got a bad reference photo. Let me take a look again. Ah, I did have a bad reference. I see. So these bits are actually flattened out. Which means I need to scale. There's no easy way to scale that. Shoot. And these are at degrees of 45, which isn't going to make that easy. See, I could do it here easily, but then I'd have to do it twice, because that's how mirror works. Huh. Give me a second while I'm not exactly puzzled here. It's just different. Yeah, precisely 45 degrees. Oh, Celsius. It's at a 45-degree angle to where I can't really choose to scale against Y or X, so I have to find a way to flatten these out. So I think what I'm going to have to do is do this in a very, very slightly annoying method. Gotta read the full comment before I do that again. Alright, so let's move this a little bit. Alright, that looks flat against these two here. So then what I need to do now is grab these. Too much. Did I grab the wrong ones? I think I did. Yes, I did. I based it off of 5. It should be based off of 6. So that means the 4 middle points need to be... These 4 points need to be tweaked. That's why it looked wrong. grab these two. So it's supposed to look like that, actually. Which, when I combine this, clashes a little bit. So that means I need to completely redo how down here works. But that's fine, I can fix that. Really, what I realize is all I need really is just this bit, because I can actually build it down from here. Did I do it wrong again? I did do it wrong again. You know, Hawk, why does all the comments I send get a bucket, bucket, please? You really making us. What do you mean, man? Oh my gosh, it's kind of annoying. Everybody is green right now on YouTube. I'm not really sure why YouTube is doing that. I haven't checked recently, but for some reason, YouTube has been marking your comments as spam. You're not the only one. Dragoon's been hit with that a lot, and several other people have been hit with that a lot as well. It's actually kind of a bummer, honestly. So I gotta do this as much as I can. Oh, that's as far as I can go back, huh? Actually, that's really all I need to go back, as far as I need to go back. So yeah, you're not the only one getting hit with like the comment spam detector for some reason. So it only covers 4. Yeah, I am not grabbing the right number of points here. Do I need to grab this many? Should be based off these 2s. Zed's been another one of them too, I remember that now. Yeah, don't worry, Cars. You don't have to worry about making my stuff, man. I don't have mandatory attendance on my stuff. Yeah, so it should be these, and then these 3. So these aren't going to be perfectly flat, since I can't exactly eye that perfectly. But this should get it to where I want it to be. I think these 5 need to be bumped out a bit more now. Yeah, there's no easy way for me to tell that. That's the most difficult thing I'll have to do here. I think, though, you need to go this way a bit, and then back down. About there. That looks a bit more correct. I will say the literal definition of that also means the person who calls somebody that is also one, so Uni, you've just shot yourself in the foot. Congratulations. Here's a gun. And I forgot that doing this kind of stuff also messes with extruding. Okay. Right, extrusions get weird. I forgot extrusions get weird too. Dang, that's gonna be interesting. Let's see. Do I like Halo? Really just played it for the story. I wasn't really too fond of it outside of that. This is a lot of complications for just a simple model. Yeah, I was never really too never really was too big into Halo series. I didn't mind the game for like a multiplayer setting, but I wasn't huge on it in general. That looks about as good as I'm gonna be able to get that. Why is this so weird? It wouldn't be probably that difficult. I just have to take a lot of time on it. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, I never really got into the Halo multiplayer. I really just played the Call of Duty multiplayer. As for the Gjallarhorn, again, I'd have to really look at it and see if I can get it modeled perfectly. There's a lot of parts to it. Guns have a crap ton of parts, especially if you want to make them animatable. Which is amazing. How much detail is involved in them. How am I going to get that to work the way I want it to? That'd be a good idea, Viet. I try to do that at least once or twice a week. It is on a lot of the time, considering a lot of my homework and stuff that I do is relying on me to be on the computer so much. Still a bit more this way. So if I shoot this straight at what happens? Still has that curve. I don't want it to have that curve. It's got the shape I'm wanting here. Rotate X. Rotate Y.
problem there. Sometimes you have to manually rotate, so let's just do this then. Bring you down. Take you 5 and raise you.
Guess that was easier to do it that way then. I've tried to set up a schedule, but I haven't been following it when it comes to cleaning.
It happens, man. I'm not great at cleaning my computer every week. I try to, but I'm not fantastic at it. Alright, so one thing I need to do here as well is I need to take these guys and push them back. Whoops. This is going to be a lot more of me individually moving verts around, so this might not be the most entertaining thing to watch, but it definitely will hopefully come out the way I want it to look. Then that point is right here. Oh, that's going to cause some issues. I'll do that later. The interesting thing I'm going to have to do here is try to bring this up and shrink it at the same time. Not that much. What about? Alright, Blender, please. Probably about, I'd say, right about here. You really need some pudding that badly, Neptune. This is quite a jump, too. Not that much.
That's about what I'm looking for,
For the most part. Really, the only thing I need to do now is just... gotta make everything here a bit more...
Okay, I'm gonna hide mirror for a second so I can see this.
Just gotta make everything a bit more thicker, I guess. 0.86. Can I change the way this is done? Ah, I see the problem here. So it's actually just this row I need to do. Except you're not supposed to follow that. Blender's being weird. You're not supposed to follow that.
That's getting that thickness that I need there. I played Corpse Party in a dark room. I guess I read dark and then saw corpse and tried to put the two words together, and then it caused problems because I'm just I do dumb stuff like that. It's like these two are fine going that way. I need to play that soon. Oh, you have to play that still. Okay. Have fun with that. That's a visual novel, alright. So this. I know I'm end up moving these outside verts, but I realize they're actually going to be beneficial for me to keep like that. No. Just need to flatten this guy out, that's really it. It does look like a snake head. Like a what is it, cobra? I put the right face on there because it looks like Arbok. Of course, that's not the intention, though. But if I put this back on, it looks nothing like that. Looks like a snake. Looks like a snake, huh? I must pull reference. Hang on. That is horribly compressed. No, I don't see it. I don't see that snake-like depiction here. Doesn't seem to work. Although... no. That doesn't seem to actually work correctly there.
For those of you who don't know where that is from, well, to put simply, it comes from Marvelous AQL's Senran Kagura series. They make a lot of really interesting games. I say interesting as also, and I also tend to say not safe for work. Very, very not safe for work. How's that looking? Alright. So now I need to add some more details here. I feel like I'm having deja vu watching this stream, I don't know why. Interesting. How does one have deja vu? Oops. That's about right. If I lower that a little bit, about maybe that much. Could just be these points just need to be raised more. In which case, that might be fine. Just for quick reference here. Actually, I kind of like where this is going. Surprisingly, because usually a lot of times I said on the first or second try, I usually feel like I've messed something up here. I'm actually pretty happy with how that looks so far. This is probably one of the most complicated things I've done in a while. Outside of what I think Kratos' blade. This is definitely bigger than it needs to be, though. It needs to be much smaller than that. There is one problem that I did forget to take care of, and it was right here. What happened to you? Aren't those race parts supposed to be thinner? What do you mean race parts? Yeah, the thing that I'm missing is right here. I need to do something like this. It's gonna look like that because it's got no underground face here. It needs to look something like that. But actually, that needs to be thicker. Those decorative arches. No, I mean the references I've got here look like they're not too thick. Some of them are supposed to be pretty. Some of these are supposed to be pretty thick. So like they go from really tiny here. This one might not actually be the. This group might not actually be the one I need to touch really here. Now that I really think about it, let me see how this looks here. Mirror, please. Now that I looked at these, yeah, these need to be thinner. I think that looks about roughly where I need that to be. Let's see here. Yeah, then this area is, but this is supposed to be where the thickness comes in. Which really, I can represent this by just grabbing here. And that doesn't really add the thickness there, but it allows me to be a bit more flexible with it. Whoops. Let's see here. I mean, I am... let me see here. I need to see that top bit here. Yes, they do need to be thinner. Okay. The top part needs to be thinner. Which that's going to be hard to do here, honestly. Nope, not that. This way. Thank you. Oh no, it won't be. Needs to be a bit more progressive though here. And everything here is leaning. No. Come on, Blender. Thank you. Yeah, because this needs to be even thinner too. So this ring also needs to shrink. Geometry is going to get pretty messy, but I can get that to work. So now I need to shrink this outer ring here too. Yeah, like I said, the geometry here is going to be pretty a little bit sloppy, but I can probably get that to work the way I want it to be. And now it's a bit slanted. Yeah, that's not what I want. Where does that slant really mess up here? Looks like it's right here. Now it's too much. I'll get it one of these times. I need to raise it up. Yep. Because now it's not synchronized. Oh, I see why. Okay, so you need to go out actually. There's probably a much more simpler version of this. Yeah, the thing is it should be a bit more noticeable. I could widen that out a bit. Maybe that's what I need to do. Or instead of use 6, use 4. I think that's probably what I need to do. I'm gonna go ahead and try this here. So then, what I need to do here is this. Yeah, I know. I see it too. I think it's probably because I have using one too many sets of this. All right, mirror, please. That could be all this is. In which case, what I need to do now Well, that's not very helpful now, is it? But yeah, that should be, yeah. I'm looking at that, that looks so much better. No, I don't want to rip. I realize I shouldn't be doing that. I should be going this way. Then I can adjust this. Okay. I just need to do this, don't I? Yeah, I'm going to fix a little bit of my geometry, but I can do this. Because some of this geometry wasn't adjusted from earlier. So it's just going to get all the more interesting using this. Whoops. Ah, there we go. Okay. How to fix that. That's good. Okay. That's just gonna look weird because it's going to wait. That's not right. The faces got messed up here. Facial geometry got messed up, so it needs to be U4. Let's set that up correctly. And now this gets messed up, and this one gets messed up. There we go, that's correct. I'll have to recenter this and get that the way it's supposed to be, but I think for the most part it should be fine. But I'm really gonna have to do some adjustments to this thing's geometry. Some serious ones. Oh, I grabbed that one. That's not the one with this. See, I just gotta fix this. Well, actually, hang on. I guess it's a blessing and a curse to rely on Blender to automatically do this for you. That's not right. There we go. That's how that should look. Alright, now I need to tweak this. God mirrors a thing, though, I'll definitely say that. This would be a bigger pain in the butt to have to go and do this for every single set. I just gotta figure out how to relink this correctly. Yeah, that's much better in terms of that width now. And because of this, I can use these a bit more willingly. Just needs to be shoved, looks like right a little bit. And that's roughly what I'm looking for there with this regard, and it still maintains most of the thickness it had from earlier, so I just gotta get the other side over here done correctly. About right there. Bring it down a little bit. About there. Pop you out just a little bit, not too much. Looks about right, maybe? Nope, a little higher on this one. There's no 45-degree angle, so it's a bit difficult. There we go. Alright, so I need to slightly tweak these guys. So there should be three... 1, 2, 3. So there should be 5 between these edges. But I need to line this up correctly. Because now all I need to do is line it up. How's that looking, Lugia? Hopefully that's a bit more likable.
not be able to do anything with those two doing that. Alright. Now the more complicated bit. So right here is where I have to basically commit to this. And it looks like that's about even. The reason I have to commit to this is because I have to be able to interact with these ends right here to be able to complete the pieces that I need to still finish. So to do this means I'm gonna have to separate this individually here. Technically, I could get away with. I think I could get away with this. I'll see how this works. And then there should be two of these between here. So basically what I have to do is I have to rebuild that I have to rebuild the cylinder here. Or at least try to get it close to it as much as possible. Hi, Ray. It's been a while, man. And there. Not the prettiest, but it's the closest I can get to that. Alright, right here is the commit stage. This is going to be one I'm going to go ahead and start multi-saving on, because this is a very complex one. It requires a lot of thinking, but it can be done. So if I apply the mirror... Perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of this that are going to be very difficult to work with. The top part might actually be not that bad. It's gonna look really wonky here, but I can do that. Then to get the right curves I need. That wasn't so bad. That might be a little too steep. Nope. This one, please. Thank you. Okay, so now the bottom part, which should be pretty dang easy. Ah, you didn't perfectly do what I wanted you to do. That's fine. You're good, this side is not. Come on. There we go. Whoops. What was that noise? Some loud donk noise just happened outside my apartment. Not really sure what happened. That's actually pretty decent. Alright, and because of how easy this should be... Now, if Blender can't figure out the faces for this, I'm going to have some serious problems with Blender. This should be pretty easy for it to figure that out very quickly. Cool. Alright, now the easier part, and this bit's done. Save the easy for last. About right there.
About there. Trying to figure out how I want to do this bit here. Probably just do this. Looks like it's about like roughly the same size, except it's really in like that. Maybe a little less than that. About right there. This goes down. Not too much. What about there, maybe? Same thing about right here. Scale back out. Then about here, probably. There we go. I gotta put those control loops in. I don't need it internally because they're the same exact design. I do need it here though. Anywhere I want to emphasize, like, okay. Anywhere I do want to emphasize like a point or an edge, I do have to have these here though. So like right here is a big one. That way it shows this off. Same thing here. Establishes that really sharp edge that we need. Hey man, what's up? There. That's about what I need though. It's not exactly a circle, but I think it does just fine. To close this out, just do this. Nope, this way. This way. There we go. Is that a crown? Yes, it is. And I need to fix this. This. And then this bit face up. I can see why it's called the crown. That's why I was saying I could see it called the crown. It does make sense. I'm gonna go ahead and add that material in now. Probably not exactly perfectly black, probably like there. And then the last two things we need are the two cylinders. Although one's more egg-shaped than it is anything else. I could just make this all one shape. Quote-unquote one shape.
this. That. Oh, right, it's gonna freak out and do that. Or, that's a dumb name. One thing I do want to do, at one point in the middle there. Just kind of flatten them a bit. Okay. Or what I could do, like I'm supposed to normally do, strip delete, not that. Strip delete this, then just straight shove that up there. It's not visible, so it's not a concern. And then I need the one that's literally like a straight up circle. Kind of a random question to ask. That's it. That looks about really where I want that. Okay, not exactly, but close. I think I can imagine the reason. Oh shoot. I can line that up perfect. There we go, perfect. Probably about right there. Hopefully it's not that reason, though. Okay, that is probably about as decent as I can get that for now. So now comes the more interesting part, I guess. UVing this sucker. Actually, I need to check something. City version should be fine. Oh yeah, plenty of data. Okay. My license on Substance Painters are running out, and as much as I love the thing, I hope I can get it renewed. If I can't, then that is going to be an absolute nightmare to have to get a new license for. The reason being, thing's expensive. Thing is very expensive. It's not showing anything, is it? It isn't. Okay. Cool. Alright. Now comes the fun part. Can I just do... Oh. Okay. I'm gonna focus on the sounds of the living room. Okay. Mark a seam there. And that should be all I need there. No, this way. Mark a seam there. How to get that interior one, because that's going to be hard to get. Oh, get some sleep, man. Jeez. Alright, so you to you. Alright, mark a seam there. Vegan, please. Okay, how in the world am I going to be able to do this? Well, one thing I can do is... grab these and mark that. That'll cut this. Will it though? That'll. There we go. Okay, that'll cut that where I want it to be cut. Leaving just this bit. I need to basically cut this in a spot that works. But how? This is a very energetic song from the Toho area. Alrighty then.
Let's see if this works then. Alright, see you, man. Probably missed that. But hopefully he's still there when he said it. This, there, whoops, there. Ah! Bad figures. There we go. Probably a little bit of a difficulty for you guys to even see the lines. It's very hard for me to see these lines, but I'm grabbing them. This one should be fine because it's a circle. But if I really want to make sure it's okay, I can mark these UVs right here. Alright, that should be good. I don't think there should be any other problems. I might be terribly wrong. We'll see. I know it's going to have non-uniform. Let's at least see what that looks like. That looks fine to me. No major deformities. Well, where's this? Why are you still transparent? Please don't do that. Looks fine, yeah. Just gotta figure out why this is happening, which is probably... Usually when I select... I need to select a face. Because it's right there, I'm trying to figure out what this is. One thing you never want to have is this overlapping UV. That's why I'm trying to figure out what is going on here. What is this? This looks like a illusion, like you're getting sucked into something. Oh, Cerno. Oh, really? It's this. Really? Well, then I'll make this easier on it. If it's having that much of issues, just mark that same, press Ctrl A, unwrap it. Really? Cold Fairy. How about this? Will this help it?
Alright, that's fine. I just need to adjust these stupid overlappers. Double check everything. What are you doing? What on earth are you guys doing? I did. Wonder, what have you done? Alright, do we have any more? I think we're good. Alright, cool. Everything should already be in its systems too, so it should be good to go actually. Now the real question is, what is this sucker going to look like? Control, export. I'll just do an OBJ because it's easy. Selection only. My chat now. Vegan has claimed the chat. Oh boy. Alright, let's see if we can get this to work. And crush fingers. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. This is the easier bit, but it's the more fun part. Because now I get to play the game of what material do we think Homura's gem is made out of? Because I have no idea, and I don't think anyone else even does. Because they don't really make like a whole thing about it, as funny as it is. Looks down on Vegan, at Vegan's chat. Oh. Heads over, Vegan. Lugia has the higher chat. Oh, Vegan has entered YouTube. This is an interesting thing. What is this material, I wonder? It's not plastic, obviously. Would it be a metallic? Spears I could see as glass, but the problem with glass is that's kind of hard to emulate here. Transparency isn't exactly something that's easy. Okay, alpha mapping isn't exactly the easiest things to showcase, and it's really not that glass. I guess it's kind of. It's not glass in the sense that it's see-through. It's probably more crystal-based, honestly, if anything. I don't have many materials. I wish I did, but fortunately I don't. I'm gonna fill this up a little bit quick here. Don't worry, I'm totally drinking something. Do not ask. Or ask. The guy who's called Edson. Oh boy. It's gotta be some kind of a metallic structure. Probably something relatively decent. It has a little bit of a reflective ability, I would imagine. When you say don't ask, makes me want to ask. Well, too bad! I'm just kidding. What should I try here? It's really the same, honestly. Let's see how this looks.
A little too glossy, but it's fine. Needs to be that metallic though. Lower the roughness a little bit though, so it's not as reflective. There's not too much color to this. I think this is fine. It's the interior purple. We'll need to figure this out. Do I have any crystal fabrics here? Or no? I could probably make it on my own. I probably don't need to worry about that. Yeah, nothing really... Oh, there's glass here. Let's see what we can do with this. Why can't I change this? There we go. Towards a darker purplish color. Darker purple. How's that look? That's fine, but I need to get some emission on that. It's gonna be one minor issue I'm gonna have here. So I need to add an emission set. And the emissions are gonna match that color. But it's gone blue. Why have you gone blue? Oh, that's the normal. What has happened? Actually, I might try. Let's try that. Actually, you're gonna be... And then on here... Do I have a specularity? Specular. And then here I want to aim for like a very strong specularity here. So any light that reflects off of it maintains that light purple, like this kind of look right here. Or not light purple, that pinkish color that it has. Turn the specularity off on that. Oh no, I'll turn them on actually. I'm just gonna mimic it, might as well. When does I make that this color? No, I'll do that. Makes sense.
Uni is pretty fun to play in 4GO. I'm actually surprised I'm enjoying Rom, though. I didn't think I'd enjoy a melee class as much as a ranged character.
How much experience do you have in Blender?
Around this time marks about a year. 3D modeling in general, I'd say about 2.5 years.
Been doing it for a while. Call the police.
I mean, technically, I had to call the police on you guys for Uni. I don't think Uni's 18, at least. Nepgear, I think, is the only technically legal one. But I don't plan to do any of that stuff. Come on, she's just...
You know. From what I've seen, in terms of, like, for 4GO, what determines if a character is easier or tougher to solo, there's several things that break down to it. You have the healers. There's two categories to healers. You got anyone with the healing skill, technically counts as a healer. The ranged type of the healer group is considered the easiest. Because usually most range is considered INT, with I think Uni being an exception. After that, it's melee-based healers, and those are the two easier groups. Outside of the next tier of difficulty outside of the melee heal types is the non-healing range types. So Uni and Nepgear are the next two easiest. The hardest two, I believe, are Rom and Rem. Mostly because they don't have any healing skills, and they are pretty much melee range characters, so they have to really learn their timing to avoid damage. In terms of Rom versus Ram, I want to say Ram's harder? I'm not sure. Rom's got a slower moveset, so dodging and attacking isn't exactly the speediest, but she's got a huge health pool to make up for it, and when stacked correctly, that health pool plus her STR can cause for some serious damage. I think Ram has a slightly smaller health pool than Rom does, but I think she hits harder? I don't exactly. I haven't really used Ram. I need to probably give her character a try and see how she feels. Well, I would say a certain 4 are the hardest because they don't match up to main class. I actually have not tried much of the CPUs. I played them a little bit and their skills are fun to use, but I haven't really mained them enough. Like with 4GO, I played enough of the other characters to get a feel for them and to understand how they operate a bit for the most part. I haven't really used the goddesses. I think I'll probably do that on my spare time on the CPU, or the PC variant. That way I could really get a feel for how they look. Or at least for how they work. Uni's... Yeah, that's what... I mean, honestly, though, I think if you put any character with high STR stats... with the Last Stand and the Assault Gem, and I guess the Superpower Gem, and then give them the Prayer that increases STR, you're gonna go insane. Rom doesn't really have any support skills either, though. I mean, she's got her own support, which is the Daffodil, but that's it. Daffodil is a self-buff, I think. So she's the only one giving it to herself. Yeah, if you could, I think you would be really fun to do would just be to tweak and mess around with those buffs, especially since it's obvious they're additive. Because if they were multiplicative, even though you have what is it, Assault and Last Stand, which are 50% and 80% defense down, even with those both being multiplicative, you'd still have some defense. It'd be a very low number, but you'd have some. Meanwhile, if they're additive, you're going to have 0 regardless. So that would make sense. So, self-buff for what I am assuming to be a 30% buff increase. I'm assuming any and all buffs, or penalties in this case, so gems and buffs in general, or prayers, are all additive. So I'd imagine that would work. Now if only the part AI was better, and the multiplayer was done correctly. Yeah. No kidding. It's unfortunate that has happened, though. I guess I could make... Is there a... opacity? Yes, opacity. There's no easy way to gauge opacity here. I'm going to try about right here, the 0.8 value. I want to see what that looks like here. So I'm gonna have low C. I'm gonna have a very, very, very crazy system going on right now, but that actually does look, for the most part, like it, which is good. That's what I want to see. Skill set. Yes, that is the case, Viet. The AI will only use the skills that are in the first skill set, I believe. So, for example, if you want to maximize Beru's usefulness, use all the relieves on her skills. You could do the same thing with Bran by making all the heal skills on the first tier. Same thing with every character, basically. I believe it's just the first tree. It's not the second one. They don't understand. I don't think they understand how to swap between the two. If they do, then I haven't seen it. That is one thing I didn't notice when I first played. That looks pretty dang close to this, in all honesty. The only thing that's different is the HDR map, which is this kind of... Okay, for those of you who don't know what an HDR map is. So HDR map is basically like an environment map, so you can kind of see... This is an environment map I'm working with, but if you really, really, really zoom out here, you can see it's just an orb mapped, or a spear mapped with the same thing, and then outside of it is the same exact stuff. Of course, this spear doesn't have any outside normals, so you'll never see anything happening. That's why when you rotate around here, you can't see outside. You really can't tell if you're seeing outside the spear, but when you look inside, when you look at it from outside to inside, you can see the kind of shape, but you can't see the whole thing. If it had a normal map on the outside of the spear, then you would actually see, you see the whole thing. You wouldn't actually, never would see the spear at all. So, I think that looks pretty good. The top bit is a bit different from the looks of it. Oh, there's another piece in there. It's transparent. That's interesting. Yeah, that's part of the reason why, if I do have any ranged characters on my team, I'm usually maining them, or just keeping an eye on them, because they are not the brightest things. They don't understand the concept of range. As sad as that is. I'm going to just copy this, and then just transfer it to here as well. Of course, I'm going to slightly modify this, so like its base color is a bit darker. This one does not have the emissions, the emissive properties, or specularity or opacity on it. Emissions, specularity, a darker variant. And opacity is probably, I'd say, a 40%. Same ordeal here. About a 40% opacity, specularity. Emissions the same. Yeah, that's the thing about melee characters. You'll always have that aggro. Actually, this might not even need that. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't need these. I'll leave the opacity on that. So now you can really see the opacity kicking in here. I'm missing a piece, but I can add that in. Not very difficult to add that in. Although, unfortunately, I can't swap out the mesh. The only problem I'm going to have with utilizing an object inside of it like that is I'm going to have to rely on the fact that it just looks good. I can't exactly see what it looked like on the inside there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the scenery here. It's right here, actually. Where is that stage one I like to use? Here it is. This is a good HDR map. Do I have anything spoopy? I need something more spoopy. Ooh. Oh, that's over the clouds. I thought that was like a dark lake or something. That's not as good as I was hoping for it to be. No. That's a beach. That's two lighting, or twin lighting. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good turnout for that. It looks pretty good. So yeah, I just need to get, I could probably add in that geometry later. There's not really much, it's not going to change too much to it. What is that? I can't even see what that color is supposed to be inside of it though. Lots of problems. I don't even know which shade. Is that supposed to be like a diamond inside of it? I will stay on this though. Excuse me. Go a bit more towards this color, a bit. And then I will match on this, but go a little brighter. Not too much brighter. Actually, I'm gonna bring that down a bit. Go. Do I know the name of this arrangement? I will send you that in a second. Let me get that. Actually, no, I'm just gonna send you the, I'll send you the YouTube link. So there you go. Look at that. I'm gonna go pull this chat back up here. I give up to buy the M1911. Haven't played anyone except Rom and Hdr. I've played most of the characters. I can say that with a... I say that pretty confidently. Huh, interesting. The game, or this engine does not like that. That's not actually there, which is interesting. Huh. That's not a problem with the model at all. That's just the graphical thing that this thing does. Interesting. Yeah, it should be fine. Shouldn't listen to... Actually, listen to opacity here, but listen to it stronger here. Probably about an 80. I don't know what were to happen if I try to put like something with a lot of noise on it, like a rust underneath, like right there or something. It creates a lot more noise. It gives it this... Putting something with some actual, like, random noise in it actually might give it a bit more of a look to it, too, which is kind of nice. Give it the feeling that there's something inside of it. You know, since it is a soul gem, after all. As deadly as that thing can be. Is that showing right now or what? Really can't see it. Oh no, you can kind of see it unless that's just part of the background there. Oh, it's Kagero. Oh, it's just the opacity kicking in. Okay, you can see it a little bit right here. Alright. That's pretty cool. I'm just tweaking things, just trying to mess with it, see what happens, what I can get out of it. Okay. Looks just fine. So yeah, you can see a little bit of the noise right there. It's actually kind of nice. I like that. Doesn't show it as much as I was expecting, but it does. You can see a good, decent amount. Actually, what's interesting is if you look closely enough, it actually looks like you can see this is the actual edge, and this is just like an emissive shield coming over it. I actually like that. Cool. Yeah, I think I'll keep that one. I like that. Alright, now I'm going to quickly change this and lower that opacity up there. That opacity is a bit too insane. Raise that shifting a bit here. It's supposed to be holding... I mean, it's supposed to be holding a soul, which is probably one of the more terrifying things about Madoka Magica. Specular is a little too strong. Let's dial it down a little. Let's raise this a little bit more. Not there. This one doesn't have as much, but I'll go ahead and put something like Wood American Cherry in this. Just for the design look. And then I want this to match that same dark color. So I'm using these, like, as funny as it is, I'm using Wood American Cherry to kind of give that little detail look that there's something inside both of these gems. I'm using like a rust here, and then a rust noise, and then like a wood noise here. Okay. Let's call this one more gem. Alright, so let's give this one last pass through here and let our render go and do this. Zoom out a little bit just so that way it gets a little bit more, you can get a bit more detail in here. So I'll let this thing render, go through its cycles, and we should be good to go. Done in 362 iterations. Alrighty, let us... Boop. And there's our BMP image file. Alrighty, and pop open Photoshop for this because I can do that. Okay. And here. I doubt you guys will be able to see this, but if it does, it's a bonus. Plus, it tells me that I can finally get Photoshop working here, which is amazing. But I doubt that's going to be really anything worth working with here. There we go. Alright, let me pop this guy right here. One of these does not belong here. There we go. Media file. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. And there is the final look to it. Gotta love the fact that that's not the perfect image, but whatever. It's okay. So that is Homura's gym. Surprisingly not too much to it, but for something as small as it was pretty dang intense. Geometry-wise, definitely something that is a fun challenge. Actually, you really kind of enjoyed that one. So yeah, that was very fun to do. Bit of a challenge, and definitely had to go through and revise a few things in Blender, a few matrix points, or no, a few verts to work with to get it to look the way I wanted it to look, but it is for the most part where I want it. So, pretty happy with where that is. Alright, so up next,
from here on out is the Fusion Sword, requested by Neff Spartan, and it's from Final Fantasy VII. That is definitely the plan for that one. So let me go ahead and move Homura's up. God, I've done so many of these. I've done this many. Holy crap. That is a lot after all. I'm just looking at the list of stuff that I've made for the channel. It's definitely a good number. I'm surprised by this. But yeah, I'm going to take a look at the Fusion Sword. Hopefully that'll be done on Thursday, unless something happens. I don't think anything will happen. For those wondering, Fantasy Zone will be finished on my own time. I do have spring break next week, so I get the entire week off from classes, which is nice. So I can kind of just take it easy and work on that, plus work on a few other things that I do need to work on, like get familiar with Source Filmmaker when I want to. I do want to start working in Source Filmmaker just to kind of get a feel of a lot of things. So hopefully that is something I can kind of get to have some fun with on my spare time and as such. Wednesday, let's see here. Wednesday I have plans. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. I like forgot what tomorrow was. So yeah, Wednesday will be more 4GO. Hopefully getting close to finishing, if not finishing it. There's a lot of things that I've been really liking about playing solo, but there's also a lot of things I don't like about playing solo. For example, if I wanted to ever play multiplayer with you guys, I'm stuck to one character. Unless I power grind everybody. So that'll be fun. That shouldn't be too hard to do. I can just go somewhere like Tetu Temple and tell them all to stay. So, alright guys, while I probably would go for another hour, it'd probably be okay just to go ahead and call it here. A semi-short stream, but the model was still fun to create. But I actually am getting rather low on model requests, so I guess everyone who doesn't have one, which, let's see here, people who I don't have to worry about right now for request-wise are Neff Spartan, Eve, and looks like Marshall. Anyone wants a model made, feel free to contact me on Discord about it, and I will be more than happy to tell them the things that I'll need from it. But other than that, you guys know what's ahead. So, alright guys, that'll be all for today. I do need to get the other video up, by the way. Since Sunrider didn't get up, I'm going to try and get it back up this time around and see if I can get it loaded. So, there should be a video dropping maybe in the next hour and a half if things are working correctly. So, anyway, before I continue to drag on here, that'll be it for now. Request box is open again. Nice. Well, your request is done, Lugia. So you're definitely allowed to go ahead and put more in if you would like. So yeah, request box is open again. I probably should make some kind of a way to handle both that and the suggestions, considering I've been having problems with that. So I'll think of something for that too. But anyway, guys, that'll be all for this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video or stream that I do. Later, guys, and have a good night or morning wherever you are.